Hello, this is Eva from SocaMom.com, and I'm here with an honoree from the Soca Warriors. Am I correct? All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about raising your children in America and keeping them connected to Caribbean culture. So what are some of the things that you did with your children to make sure that they stayed connected? I noticed your wife had a gorgeous accent.
Yeah.
Where is she from?
My wife's also from Trinidad and Tobago. She's from the south of Trinidad, whereas I'm from the north. Both our families, well, my parents still live there. Her father lived there up until a couple of years ago when he passed. And we've always tried to stay connected. We've made every effort to get back to what is still our home, Trinidad and Tobago, as often as possible so they can continue to connect with that side of the culture.
So in your home, do you have the music and the food? And
Yes, we have the food. That's all my kids are ever exposed to in our house. And the music, though they're at an age now where they're starting to develop their own taste. So there's a little bit of conflict there, but right now my wife and I are still winning. I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to win that battle.
So for any aspiring soccer players, I know I have two sons that play soccer and, well, football. So what advice would you give them here in the U.S. to stay connected with that, Caribbean style of playing soccer? I taught them to play barefoot. What else? What other tips do you have?
Well, the thing I felt that served me well through my career, and I played in Trinidad and Tobago, played here in the U.S. college, and then went on and played in Europe at the professional level, is I've always tried to be true to myself. I've not tried to be anybody else. Trinidad and Tobago runs through my blood, and it's all I know, and I've tried to make that a part of not just what I do in my own personal life day to day, but how I express myself professionally, and it's served me well over the years.
Well, we appreciate you taking your time to chat with us, and congratulations. Hi, this is Eva from SocaMom.com, and I'm here with Constance from Essence Magazine. How are you this evening?
I'm good, Eva. How are you?
I'm great. She's an honoree for the Caribbean American Heritage Awards here in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to chat with her a little bit about keeping children connected to their Caribbean roots. You are from Jamaica, am I correct?
I am of Jamaican descent.
And you have 3 children. How do you keep them connected to culture in your home?
Well, first of all, my husband and I, we often talk about our background as kids, and my husband in particular. That's the first thing. Second, they have a close relationship with their grandparents. Thirdly, we take them back to Jamaica regularly. And I think those are 3 important ways that we keep them connected. We find it's doubly important because our kids are of African descent, they're black children, and I think having that roots, having that tradition, having them be clear about where they come from, as it were, whether we're talking about the American part of their heritage or the Caribbean part of their heritage, is very important to them growing up to be strong and productive citizens.
This is Eva from SocaMom.com, and we are chatting with the honorees from the Caribbean American Heritage Awards here in D.C. about staying connected to Caribbean culture and working with kids. So tell me, how have you stayed connected to the culture? Is it food, family? What have you done?
Combination of them all. The Caribbean has such a vibrant, historical, strong culture. It's very difficult to get disconnected. I tell my son and my daughters that all the time.
So what did you do as a family at home to keep them connected?
Well, listen, just talking about what we did, one of the honorees talked about going to school and walking a long way. I make sure that my son understands that the equipment that he has in his room, just his bedroom, is more equipment than I had on the whole island that I'm from. And so I think there's an appreciation for that. And, of course, taking them back home, having them meet friends and family, but within our household, have a clear distinction of who we are and our culture. Very, 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 very simple.
So I heard you in your acceptance speech talk about staying connected as a business with the Caribbean and the children that are still there looking for opportunities. Can you tell me how you do that?
Very easy. We have, in my opinion, one of the best programs, I think, in the industry, and that is, when you think about people in the Caribbean, typically my father, my grandparents, all were restricted to cleaning floors in the hotel business. Today we want to show them people that look like them can actually own the property. So every year we bring in about 100 kids from throughout the Caribbean, HBCU schools, all who have an interest in the hospitality community. And that is, at the end of the day, they get to know that if they can dream about doing what we do, it's achievable. Years ago, just a pipe dream. Today, our mentoring program, and they spend the day with an executive from Marriott, an executive from Hilton, or just an owner, like one of our youngest owner, Evans Charles. If you can imagine this, both parents are from Haiti. The English is not very good, but today he's the proud owner of 2 hotels in this country and working on a 3rd deal. That's what we talk about, Caribbean focus and Caribbean heritage.
Well, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.